Welcome to another edition of Aspire to Inspire, America's most inspiring people, and embrace the power of production. I'm your host, Dr. Jennifer Blaylock, and I'm super excited about my guest today. You know, I think it was Drake that said no new friends, but I've got an old friend and a new friend, and I like them both. And so, Drake, you might be wrong about that. But I'm super excited to welcome Cory Williams and Danny Espling. I hope I said your last name correctly, Danny. Two individuals who are really making a huge difference in Brevard County on the Space Coast, and excited to talk to them about their initiatives, their endeavors. But really want to start off very quickly sharing a story about Cory. I've known Cory. Gosh, Cory, I think I met you when you were a junior in high school. Does that sound about right?
Probably.
Yep.
I think
He was my, Danny, you may not know this. He taught my daughter to swim. My daughter, who is 25 years old, I paid for private lessons at the Titusville, Florida YMCA. And I remember meeting Cory and I was like, listen, she looks like she's drowning when she's swimming. She's all yours for a week. And by the end of that week, he had her jumping in and swimming the length of the pool underwater. And I was sold ever since then. And our friendship and relationship has continued to blossom. And there was a lot of interesting turns, including that I moved from the Space Coast and I worked at what is now a State College of Florida over in Bradenton. And I was the director of enrollment services there, which included the basketball coach, who was an advisor. And I love basketball, a little thing about me. And I remember I saw a very tall young man and his father come in, and I was like, that guy looks familiar. And sure enough, it was Cory, and he was coming to play basketball at State College of Florida. So I was able to cheer him on. And then just throughout his career, he's continued to do incredible things. I know he was most recently a finalist for under 40 for Brevard County, Lead Brevard, which is incredible. A feat I always wanted to do it, Danny. I don't know if you did it. I'm 49 now. It's too late for me. But Cory, keep it going. I'm so proud of you. And now SCS Academy. So I would love to hear from both of you. What is SCS Academy? Why is it important? And how is it making a difference to young people, particularly young athletes in Brevard County?
I mean, first of all, we got to go ahead and put this in there. We need us a 4 over 40.
Yes,
that's
okay.
right.
I mean, just knowing some pretty amazing people that is still putting the legwork in to be as inspirational as, you know, both of y'all. I think that's something that needs to go see. That's something that needs to be seen. So
you heard it here first, Cory.
That's
I like
right.
it. Let's make it happen.
Saying, without you guys, there's no me. So that inspiration has always been there. So I appreciate it. Just with the academy, with SCS Academy, we're just here as a pillar for the community, and it's here at all age levels. What we had to expand out to. It's something to really start talking to our kids about whenever it comes to sports, life choices, and just things that they're going to experience in life, whether it's adversity, school choices, where they want to go as far as college. Like, do you have a game plan together? Setting your goals, making sure that, you have a route to accomplish those goals. Like I said, we're just here as a pillar. We want to make sure that our kids here in the community are equipped with the right tools that they need to be successful as well, because our motto is it takes a village. So, it's a lot of companies that are helping out, that are on board with making sure that, this thing is successful. And we just want to be able to push it out the right way. I think Danny's probably going to want to go ahead and give her a little spill on the inside of it, because I'm too humble whenever it comes to it. So I'm going to let her go ahead and handle that.
He's very humble. You did
a good job. You did a good job. SCS Academy is so near and dear to our hearts. And it does take a village. It takes more than a village. And it's, parents involved, it's the community involved, it's the kids involved. It's everything from start to finish and everything in between. It's bigger than the game of basketball. That's one of our biggest things that we pride ourselves on, is it's bigger than the game of basketball. We use basketball as our platform and the foundation. However, we teach so many more things than just the game of basketball. Like Cory said, you know, it's life skills, it's mentoring, it's really understanding what they would like to do when they get to be in college after high school. We mentor kids from the ages of 4 to 5, and all the way up until adulthood. So we have really just, you know, hit the ball rolling, and we're just so blessed and so thankful for the community to just embrace what we're doing here, you know, and it's awesome.
It's fantastic. I remember speaking with Cory, and you know, he has become such a mentor, and I've always appreciated his commitment to give back and to really light the path forward for others. But we were speaking about, you know, my background is in education and workforce development, and just thinking about what a disservice we do to athletes who love the game, who also want a career. And you know, not everybody is going to play Division I sports, not everybody is going to get a professional contract, but how can they still live their dream? And so when Cory told me the vision for SCS Academy, I was so impressed, because I know it's also a little bit about career readiness and, you know, what are those certificates, that job training that you can get. Tell us a little bit about that. And you also mentioned some of your business partners. I'd love to learn more about that as well.
Yeah, most definitely. A lot of their certs. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Is that you? Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, which one? A lot of the certs, we've also linked up with Coursera. So we're able to still get certs inside our kids' hands, because a lot of them, well, some of them, I'll say, as far as academics, they're not the best whenever it comes to knowing what it is particularly that they want to do. So I'll say, you know, okay, well, let's hone in on some of the skills that you guys are good on, and let's get you certified in those skills. So at least you're qualified to be able to teach in these areas. So for some of our kids, they want to become like coaches. You know, they want to get into training, they want to get into development. So they have courses on Coursera to where it's just like, hey, you know, you can take this class on the ages and stages of youth development, and it's free courses. So, you know, we're like, hey, throughout the season, you guys are taking these courses. We have our brand management course, because I'm trying to teach our kids now, you are a walking brand. So, you know, you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to know what that means. You have to know your value in this sports market, because if you don't, it is a dog eat dog world. I mean, we just know it. I tell people all the time, I say, why do you think whenever the Orlando Magic play the Los Angeles Lakers, why nosebleed seats are going for $111?
That's cheap. What are you
talking about? LeBron James is coming to town, and everybody wants to see him play. Why? He's a branded player. So just getting our kids to understand their worth in it, and, you know, what they can accomplish with the right mindset behind these certifications, and understand the different routes of education, is key, because not everybody learns at the continued education route whenever it comes to college.
Right.
And we see that so often. I'm like, hey, you still have, you know, certs and trades out there in plumbing, electrician, welding, you know, that you can still be successful in, and you can still connect to the game of basketball, and you can still play, or you can connect to whatever sport it is that you want to play. And, you know, you can still be a part of that. So to have those outlets, I mean, I say it all the time, a lot of our kids, I'm like, well, what do you want to go to school for? I just want to play ball.
That's right.
Well, you know, what's the motivation for you to go to school? And it's to play basketball. And I'm like, all right, so if basketball doesn't really work out for them, guess what? They're out of school. They're out of, you know, they'll, in my opinion, they fall behind, especially here in Brevard County, where the economics in this county it's about to skyrocket. And I'm trying to, and I guess that was a pun intended, but
true. Oh, that's right.
I caught that. I caught that one.
Isn't it Artemis was supposed to launch?
Artemis, yeah.
Brevard County is where the rocket was supposed to launch, but I think it's been put on hold based on the weather. So that's too funny.
we're used to it down here. That's why whenever there was about to launch the other day, I was like, yeah, not really in a rush. And it's probably gonna be scrub. So,
Yep. Well, I love what you're sharing, Cory. And Danny, as a sports mom, and of course you're a businesswoman and doing all kinds of great things. But from a sports parent perspective, I know you can relate to this. And I have a 25-year-old that Cory and I, Cory knows she had some academic challenges, but sports were her lifeline. They were her motivation. They inspired her.
Yep.
And what would you say to parents out there? How could SCS Academy help them if they want to be, that champion and cheerleader for their students, their athletes, but they're just not sure, school's not working out for them. They don't know, they haven't gotten that D1 offer. What does it look like? How can SCS Academy help?
That's the beauty of SCS Academy, is because if you have not had that opportunity to go play at the next level, there is opportunity here at SCS Academy. And as a sports parent, my oldest is going to be 23. He played the game of basketball here in Brevard County, and had this opportunity for this program. Then when he was around and able to play the game, he would have been in it hands down. Not because I'm part of it, but because I believe in it as much as I am as a parent. But I also believe in it is because, I'm also the assistant athletic director. So, it definitely is a program where if you don't have that opportunity to go play at the next level, we give you that opportunity to play basketball. And moving forward, we hope to be able to put other sports on as far as the sports academy goes. But the number one thing is the education aspect of what it is that we deliver to the children. And so that's where I feel very passionate about, because even though you may not have gotten that opportunity to play the game that you love, we're at least giving you options and opportunities to be able to further your education. Maybe not where you're, thinking, okay, I don't want to go to college because maybe college is not for me, maybe doing, 2-year, 4-year, whatever the case may not be your avenue. That's why it's so important to introduce them to the trades, introduce them to the certificates, introduce them to other ways that they can further themselves in a career so that they have something to fall back on when they're done playing the game that they love to play.
I love it, Danny. You said that so beautifully. And first of all, you talked about air conditioning. I know there are HVAC entrepreneurs out there like making what all three of us make. They can write their ticket, because when our AC goes out in Florida, especially, like, sign me up, come over, I'll do whatever. Right?
Hands down. Yeah.
So I think that's fantastic. And, as a parent, we want the best for our children. And what I love about SCS Academy is it builds dreams. It builds upon dreams. It's not saying you can't still do your athletic dream, but you need to build a partner or a companion to that and learn those other skills. Like Cory was talking about, your name, image, and likeness. It's funny you mentioned LeBron. I think Bronny, his son, who may or may not have the same level of NBA career that his dad has. We're cheering for you, Bronny. We hope you do. But I think he's like the most paid NIL person out there, right? Because he already has taken ownership of his name, image, and likeness. So, kudos to that. And yeah, for all the young people out there that are just trying to find that next step and not give up on their hope or their dream, I love that you guys provide them, with that opportunity and that community, because you can feel a little bit lost. Tell me about Hondos. What is the inspiration for that?
Oh, so Hondo, whenever I was looking, oh my gosh, whenever I was trying to think of like what would be a great mascot, I just really started to dive in a little deeper to see what would be so unique about a mascot, because everyone hears of, like, the Blue Devils, the Gators, the Seminoles, like we hear of all of this stuff, but I wanted something with a little bit more meaning behind it. And the only thing that could stand out to me was like a warrior. So I was like, okay, I got the warrior part. And I'm like, I know my skinny self out here, I don't look like no big buff warrior, but I'm like, mentally, I'm like, I'm very tough. So I was looking up different definitions of different meanings of warriors, and I came across the word Hondo. And Hondo is an African name for warrior. So so whenever we were able to go ahead and take Hondo and say, okay, it's not the physical strength of the warrior that gets it done, it's the mental strength that the warrior has to have to prepare for battle. That was the inspiration behind that, because anything in life, mentally, you got to prepare yourself, because it's a battle. It doesn't matter your size, your race, your religion. It doesn't matter. It is a fight. And the fight that we're in is to leave this place better than what we found it, and to plant that seed for the next generation. So everything that we do is under a microscope, just as people. And it's no pressure, because at the end of the day, you have to admit you are human to this extent. And it's not to get stuck in the mindset whenever adversity hits, or to give up or to quit, but it's to push through. Like I even tell our 5-year-olds, I'm like, yo, if there's a brick wall, we don't run into it, we run through it. And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, you'll thank me later. So, I'm like, we want to run through those brick walls. We want to run through. We want to face our challenges on a daily basis. We want to become friends with fear, because whenever you do that, then it's not holding you back, but you're seeing fear in a different light. You're seeing your blessing on the other side of fear, and you got to be ready to go get it. So it's just being prepared to go out there, to step up and to go get what's yours.
Yep.
I mean, how much more inspirational can you be than that? I just want to share, like, Cory always inspires me, and throughout the years, it has been such an honor to watch him grow and develop into the community leader and inspiration that he is. But I want to ask you both, what inspires you to do this kind of work? Why is it so important to pour into young people and to make a difference in Brevard County? Because you talked about that a little bit, Cory, but I'd love to hear from both of you on what inspired you to do a program like this. And how do you keep motivated as well?
You want to go?
Ladies first, Danny. You got that one. I'll answer it after you're done.
You'll follow up. All right. Why? Thank you. Wow. You know, it is something that is just so purpose driven, and a lot of people will say, "Well, what's your purpose, Danny?" And a lot of people can't answer that. Honestly, a lot of people are like, I don't know what my purpose really truly is. And it's so funny, is because when I talk about my purpose, they're like, oh, you should have been a school teacher. I'm like, no. I was like, no offense, but I don't think I could be in a classroom with kids, but that's what I do. Right. You know, so it's very interesting how it all kind of comes together. I love children. I have 4 children of my own. However, through the years of my kids playing sports, I've kind of almost literally adopted their teammates, and they all call me mom. So I feel like I have like an entourage of children everywhere that are now like getting married and having kids of their own. So it's like, it's inspiring. Yes. You know, I've had a small touch in their lives. But you know, that's the thing, like it's so beautiful to watch. It gives me goosebumps when you know that you're living within your purpose. You're able to truly feel what it is that you're doing, and you know that you're doing a good job, because the impact that you're making in these kids' lives is priceless. It truly is. I say it all the time, every time we have a clinic or a camp and we're out in the gosh darn heat here in Florida and we're, you know, playing basketball and loving on these kids. We don't know where these kids truly are coming from. We don't know what they just endured on their way here to our camp. A lot of times, you know, their situation can be something that we never even know of. And I always look at that as a way to be a smile, a way to be a caring heart, a listening ear, and a hug. And I love what I do. I do a lot, but I love what I do. And really, truly, it is inspirational and it's motivating. And there's times where it is tough. I'm not going to lie. It is. Because you never know, some days if you're coming or you're going, and let's just be real. But when you come to a practice or you come to a class, or you see a kid out at the grocery store or a gym that you're training at, and they come up to you and they're like, Miss Danny, Mama D, like, it just is like, you know that you've made that impact in their life. And it's crazy because even though we say we make the impact in their lives, they actually make a bigger impact in our lives. Yeah. And they teach us so much. I mean, our trainings, Cory can tell you, we laugh more than you can even imagine. These little kids have such a humor, and they have such a personality, and they're light. They're light in this world. And for us to be able to shine our light into their world, and then them to shine their light into the world as well. They're young. I mean, like Cory said, we deal with 4 and 5-year-olds as our youngest, all the way up until our college kids, even adults. And so just to know that you're making a small impact in these kids' lives and adults' lives, even our college kids, it's just, there's so much that goes into this program that is just, it's beautiful. It really is.
I love it. And Cory, before you answer, I just want to say that, Danny, thank you for, even though you're on mom duty right now, soccer mom duty, Soccer Moms Unite. I know you are in the parking lot cheering your daughter on while she plays for Space Coast United, SCU. Shout out, my daughter plays for them too.
All the time.
Yes, yes. So I just wanted to say thank you for your parking lot participation and interview.
Yeah, right.
Parking lot interview.
She is not driving. She is cheering on as a soccer mom. But Cory, you tell us a little bit about your inspiration as well.
The inspiration came from my failures, if anything. And sure. I couldn't see it as failures. They were lessons to kind of propel me to the direction that my purpose in life is taking me in. All my life, I've worked around kids. I don't mean to sound like Whoopi from Off Color Purple. All my life. I mean, it's the God honest truth. My mom, she had a daycare, so I grew up around kids, and here I am trying to escape kids. So and then I'm right back into it, and it's just where I'm at is where I feel the most comfortable at. I mean, I have a bachelor's degree in human services, so I literally tell people like I'm a case manager walking around with a basketball trying to change the world.
Love it. I love it. That should be on your business card. CEO/case manager walking around with a basketball trying to change the world, except take out trying and put just changing the world, because that is fantastic. So I also wanted to ask, where can people find out more information? Who is this for? And what should they do if they want to get in touch with you or support the program?
Yeah. If they want more information, you guys go to SCS-Academy.org, or you can go to hondoathletics.com. We service to everybody. I mean, we have, like I said, we starting from kids ages 4 and up to adulthood. And it's just the impact that we want to make, the community partnerships that, we want to bring about. We was able to partner up with Jeff and Rolanda Gallup, and they have the Little Black Book Drive, just keeping literacy going for our kids. And who else? We have Exceed Concierge with Armand Brooks, another one of my good friends. And just those little things that help make a big difference. Elevate Bavard, Dr. Dokes, and what she's doing over there is amazing. She helped us land a partnership with the University of Florida's College of Engineering. So that's something else. Yeah. It's something else we get to go ahead and bring about to the kiddos in our program. And these kids can go on these tours with us. They can be middle school, and like I said, just up to adults, as long as they're interested in, or is giving them an insight to engineering at UF, or just, like I said, it's something else outside of just sports. But, working with community partners like that, Lee Bavard, a couple others, like it's a blessing. And it definitely helps out. I'm glad, and that's just where the inspiration keeps driving you to keep doing what you're doing at the end of the day, because you're seeing people are actually starting to understand more of what you're doing, because this is I call it, this is out the mud. This is just building the foundation from scratch. People looking at you like, what? Like, you got a plan to do what? And this idea came in probably around 2018. I called it Beyond the Game. And it was to really help teach and instruct kids and help give them optimism. Because I see a lot of our kids, they aren't really going D1. They're not going D2. Right. And the college system and the way that it is right now, this could have been a perfect time for it. Because you're talking about some of these private schools that are charging an arm and a leg. And some of the kids, especially from lower income communities, that, if they're the first of their generation to go to college and they were able to receive a scholarship, but they don't know about the student loans that they have to go back at some time. I'm like, yeah, no, you might want to reconsider things and actually give them the whole breakdown of what's going on. And what can be their best model for them to go ahead and follow through on whenever it comes to their success with the game. And that comes with time, that comes with patience. I don't mean to go off the topic of what you were saying, but now the passion started coming.
Yeah.
Or kicking it up a notch.
I love it. Well, I would say, and I'm trademarking this, but we are all purpose-driven professionals, or PDPs, because I love to share that I have never had to work a day in my life because I've been driven and fueled by my purpose. And it's so inspiring. That's the whole point of this show. We want people to feel like if they are struggling, if they, don't know where to turn, there are people out there just like them who listen to their heart, listened to those around them who were cheering them on, and said, you know what, you can pursue your dream. There are people here who inspire and motivate you. I remember when you had the concept, Cory, I think you were doing some work with the NBA at that time. And I don't know, were you in China maybe?
I was in China, yeah. Yep,
See,
I was over in
China.
Remember.
Yes, and you were talking to me about it, and then the next time I saw you, like, it had come to fruition, and so I'm so proud to hear that and to see that. And I think, again, sometimes as in the teaching profession, or the education profession, or even just in general, it's always about college. I have almost worked exclusively in colleges. Higher education is fantastic. It's not for everybody.
No.
And it is never an ending point. In today's world, our youth are going to work, this next generation, not just 1 or 2 jobs, probably 6 or 8 jobs, and they're going to change career industries or sectors. So this idea of certificates, of training, of work-based learning is so critical because it can really change their lives, and it can help them realize, I can still do something. I can coach if I love this sport. I can be in sports management, sports business. There's lots of other things out there. I'll just share real quickly. My daughter did a program with Major League Baseball called Inside Sales. It was an online internship. Check it out, everybody. It's a great program. She graduated during the pandemic, and you know what that was like for a lot of college grads, right? What am I going to do? And that, I think it was 4 weeks. At the end of that 4-week program, she interviewed with Major League Baseball teams, and she works for the New York Mets now. So, there's a dream of a D1 athlete. She did play D1 college soccer, but, graduated and didn't really have a plan necessarily. And of course, right. So that was an opportunity to make that happen. So I just want to say kudos to both of you. Tell me what the future of SCS Academy looks like, and what inspires and motivates you both to keep it going forward. What is your inspiration of what the vision of it looks like in the future?
The future of this, this is really good. So, and I believe, this is the first interview that we're doing where I'm able to make this announcement too. But our future is we're opening up our program to high school kids now. So you can have a high school freshman playing against college age and college ready kids. And, I always say, you think about where that high school freshman will be at by the time they hit their senior year in high school, playing against older kids, where their confidence, where their love of the game is going to be. Not only that, but off the court, the mentorship that they're going to be able to have, because we believe in giving back. So I know if we're doing it, I'm expecting that from my guys as well. So for them to go ahead, coach the kids, read to them, it's going to be a blessing. I think that's the motivation to keep doing what you're doing. And tell people at times it gets very, very like sometimes I question my sanity. I'm like, God, why am I even doing this? And I always tell people it's so important to surround yourself with good-minded people that will help you along the way. I've gotten scriptures, I've talked with rabbis, and they're just like, listen, it's in you. So, and it's in everybody. I was led to Psalms 82. It talks about it. It says, don't forget, like, you guys, you're gods. We're made in the likeness and image of God. He blew his breath into us. So therefore, if he can do that, he created us. We are creators on this earth to be able to do it. And things are going to get tedious. They're going to get trying at times, but to be able to see why you're doing what you're doing. And, I see this 10 years from now. I always say it's a 5-year program, but to see it and to kind of know the impact that it's going to have, knowing that this program is ahead of its time. I think that's my motivation, because sometimes, I'm out there, you plant the seed and, the next day you're like, I got a stem, something growing yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just, it's like bamboo to me.
Mhm.
Plant bamboo and, it takes how many years till you actually see something?
Right.
So, that's the motivation to see, okay, hey, I know what we're doing is right, it's authentic. And I know within the next couple of years, once people actually grasp what we're doing, then it's going to take off the way that it should. So that's the motivation behind it. Seeing these kids' faces, their smiles behind it. I tell Danny this during some of our practices. I say, you want to, what I tell you? I said, you want to watch someone walk on water? So I always tell about these miracles that we're going to do. And I'm like, I tell a kid, I'm like, hey, can you dribble the ball between your legs? The kid's like, no. They start crying about it. Probably within like 5 minutes later, we got them dribbling between their legs. So, those little things make a big difference. And it just keeps motivating you to, do what you keep doing no matter what. So, yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Danny, any last thoughts?
I get emotional. Shocking, right? I'm the emotional one. It's so near and dear to our heart. It really truly is. So many people would look at us and go, you're absolutely crazy. You think that this is going to work? And it was great because honestly, season 1 came and we were like, we got this. We got this. And so many people looked at us like we were crazy. And I tell you, we played a schedule. Our kids got certificates. We had some go off to college. We have one that's actually playing college ball. We have another one that went off to college. So at the end of the day, season 1 was a huge success. And our motto to get through season 1, we got to get through season 1. We just got to get through season 1. We just got to make it. Season 2 is coming up and it's challenging. It's challenging and it should be. You know what I mean? It should be. Everything that you do in life is going to have challenges. It's going to have adversity. And that's why the Hondo mentality is so important, because it's not necessarily that physical strength. Although there's times where you physically feel beaten down, you really do. However, it's that mental mentality of that Hondo. And when they're playing their games and they're getting beat up in the paint and they're doing all these things, even our kids in the little clinics, and they're like, it's so hot, my feet hurt, I'm tired. Is it water time yet? No, not yet. It's really truly teaching all of them that Hondo mentality. And I think that that's what really truly inspires, I know for myself and I know for Cory too, it inspires us to keep pushing forward, because the adversity that we feel is the adversity that we're teaching to these kids and these young adults. It's going to happen. Now, how are you going to overcome that? How are you going to achieve the goals that you have? And that Hondo is so important to us. It's so important to us. So yeah, we're just blessed, truly blessed to be able to make the impact that we make in this community and beyond.
I love it. Well, I will tell you that in this time that we spent together, both of you have shared and just poured out some great, very motivational, inspirational ideas, thoughts. And I know everyone who has joined us is going to catch that spirit, and hopefully a little bit of Hondo will, Cory's the Hondo whisperer, will find its way into their hearts and spirits. Yeah. But I would challenge everybody out there, please look them up, check them out on their website, connect with them on social media, see the great, incredible things that they're doing. They are making a difference. They are not just aspiring to inspire, they have embraced their own internal power, and they are channeling that toward making a difference and an impact in their community. So I want to thank them for that. And I want to thank you all for watching. If you have anyone in your community who is one of America's most inspiring people, please send them our way. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of America's Most Inspiring People, Aspire to Inspire and Embrace the Power of Production. I'm your host, Dr. Jennifer Blaylock. Get out there, inspire others, and be inspired. Have a great night. Bye-bye.